comment or comment on any of our agenda items today, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, I have a couple of things that I'd like to speak about.
Okay, we'll get to you when we get started, but just checking now if you have general public comment or comment on any of the agenda items.
I think I do.
Okay, so I'll put you down for general public comment, and then you would like to make a comment on specific items on the agenda as well?
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
great. I'll put you down for both. Thank you. Hi.
Checking in.
Oh,
Michelle Mitchell. She rolled in her black SUV. Madam Mitchell, that's a nice SUV, RUV, whatever you got to drive, that black one. Who like that?
and Yvonne, good morning, Yvonne. Do you have general public comment or comment on any of our agenda items?
Yes, all of the above. Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. And Children's Voices Matter, I see your hand raised. Do you have general public comment or comment on any of our agenda items?
General public comment, please.
Thank you.
Special?
Hi, Laura FM. Good morning. Do you have general public comment or comment on any agenda items? Laura, good morning. Do you have general public comment or comment on any agenda items? Laura, I'll come back to you. Gigi, I see you have your hand raised. Do you have general public comment or comment on any agenda items?
Just general public, please.
Thank you.
Wilshire Tunnel. That job, the Wilshire Tunnel is stopped. Yeah, it's stopped. Not taking no more the extension of that tunnel. Run out of money. About $40 million on that parking structure. LAX is going to get completed. Unheard of. $45 million for one parking structure. You got more fucking veterans and homeless people on the street, John. Okay. Does that matter? Is that fuzzy math? Is that just me? That's fuzzy. I know Faith would let African Americans do on street corner. She's gonna build the Taj Mahal and get all those black folks with some nice houses. Especially before the Olympics. Shit, Ernesto was rat ass motherfucker. He's gonna get all the niggers off the street. No, Ernesto. Get your ass off the street. Get your ass off the street. Tell him, Ernesto.
case you forget. I don't think you will, but. Gonna make one last call for public comment before we get started. I see we have, Georgina, you have your hand raised. Do you have general public comment or comment on any agenda items?
Yes, public comment and all agenda items, please. Did you hear me?
Yes, got you, thank you. Henry, do you have general public comment or comment on any agenda items?
Just general public comment.
Thank you. And Laura Anderson, do you have general public comment or comment on any of our agenda items?
General public comment and on the minutes, please.
Thank you.
That's right. We're here every day with y'all.
All right, VP Chavez, let me put us into record mode so we can go ahead and get started. All right, we are now recording whenever you're ready.
Great. Well, good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Public Works for Friday, December 19th. Ms. Zatorsky, please take roll and establish quorum.
Of course. Good morning, everyone. Devin Zatorsky with the Board of Public Works, joined today by Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell, and Commissioner Cardenas. We're also joined by our City Attorney Representative, Ms. Daryl Field. We have general public comment and multiple item comment in person and via the Zoom platform. No neighborhood council commentary.
Thank you. Okay, so let's start with general public comment. This is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items and will be provided up to 1 minute per person for a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. Testimony shall be limited in content to subject matters which are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works. The board may not take any action on any matters discussed during the public comment period. We'll start first with the in-person comment. We have Mr. Hydro for general public comment. Please come up.
This is not an agenda. This is not the special, right? Not the special? We're doing regular? Niggas! Yeah, I'm here in protest. Scientology, take the back door with your fucking permits and fuck you, Scientology. Cult, religious fucking propaganda, fucking intimidation, retaliation. Yeah, fuck the cult. Fuck Santa Claus. Fuck the solstice. Fuck all your fake bullshit religion, you stupid assholes. Keep believing in the shit that God condemns. God hates false religion. I hate false religion. I love Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump is the only white motherfucker president to do something right. Save America. Save it from all the wetbacks, illegals coming through this country with their bombs, their threats, and antagonizing this fucking country. Although America is fucking doomed, though. You're all gonna fucking die.
Time.
God hates you. You're going
That's
to hell.
time.
Thank you. Here you go, ma'am. For the record.
All right, that is our,
Let's now go to the virtual platform, please.
all right, our first caller is Audit LA. You'll have 1 minute for general. Sorry,
Good morning,
go ahead.
Commissioners and Mr. Torsky. I sent in a letter or an email, okay, saying that it's like it's something has to give. Okay, for years now that we've been coming here, Scientology's been able to get away with just abusing the city and making them like where you're their boss. I mean, where they're your boss and not the other way around. And it's like I don't know, and like I don't know at what point or does it have to go into litigation? The city has to stand up and say no. You're not going to continue to abuse these permits, to abuse the rights of the citizens on page 2, where pedestrians can go through, and you're not going to get to make up a new page 2 when we have specifically told you, the city attorney has specifically told you that page 2 of pedestrian access is applicable to all of these special event permits. But somehow they feel they're special. They don't have to abide by the rules.
Thank you,
It is
caller.
time that you
That's
shut
time.
down their permits, period.
Hey, ma'am, I can't see the people online.
Our next commenter is Nora. Nora, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Fantastic. Yes, I am a survivor of the cult of Scientology. I was born into it in 1976 when they bought that building from the Cedars of Lebanon. And I just want to say that the continuation of the laissez-faire attitude from you guys and the rest of the LA city to just hand these permits over to them carte blanche. I was an indentured servant, AKA slave to them for 8 years between the ages of 18 and 26. And I will say that I laid those bricks there along with the other slaves. It was not skilled labor. No masons were involved in putting those bricks down. Also, this idea that they're going to celebrate Christmas, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I'll keep repeating it. L. Ron Hubbard stated that is a true belief of Scientology that Jesus Christ was a pedophile and that Lucifer was the good guy and that he is Lucifer. Okay, so the idea that they're going to give away
Thank you, caller.
toys
That's
to
time.
people.
Our next hand raised is Sandra. Sandra, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. My concern is I've been here for a couple of years now, and I have watched people come from other neighborhood councils who have been fined by the city for illegally placed planters. And I noticed that Scientology a couple of weeks ago during the Christmas event had put back those illegally placed planters again to block anybody on the street. This was captured on video camera. And I'm wondering why, when we see this constant obliteration of the rights of the public, this corrupt criminal organization, they continually commit infractions on your permits. Why do you continue to allow them to have the permits? I just don't understand. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
Thank you, caller. Our next hand raised is Tori Chrisman. Tori Chrisman, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, hi. My name is Tori Christman. I was in Scientology for 30 years, and I woke up in 2000 and basically escaped out. Janet Weiland came to LAX, and they followed me all the way across the country. So that's what brought me. I started at LAX as a Scientologist. I got to Tampa Airport with the Tampa police, and I became an activist. I was the person who got L. Ron Hubbard Way named L. Ron Hubbard Way from Berendo. And I want to have it changed back because it does violate church and state. L. Ron Hubbard, they say, is a religion. I say it's a cult. And either way, it shouldn't be L. Ron Hubbard way. It should be Berendo, and that's why I'm here. Thank you very much, and I yield back my time.
Thank you, caller. Our next hand raised is Yvonne. Yvonne, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. That is the R1 visa that, not visa, excuse me, the R1 permit allowing Scientology to take a responsibility for the maintenance and care of L. Ron Hubbard Way is also the permit that is allowing the city of Los Angeles to appreciate the benefits of slave labor. This and human trafficking. This situation is going to be reported to every participant of the Olympics and every embassy sending tourists to this country and city. This needs to stop. This needs to stop in the cleanup activities that this Public Works oversees, and you need to divorce yourself from any favoritism or participation or collaboration with Scientology. That concludes my public portion. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Our next caller is Children's Voices Matter. Children's Voices Matter, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Greetings. What would happen to the Scientology children in the Blue Building on L. Ron Hubbard Way if there's a fire? Are the electrical systems and wiring up to code? When is the last time the Blue Building and others were inspected to ensure that they are up to code? What would happen to the disabled children and adults in that Blue Building if there was an electrical fire? People with trouble walking, what would happen to them? When was the last time the Blue Building and others had fire drills to make sure there is a safe way out for everyone? It is time these buildings had inspections to guarantee safety of all Scientologists, children and adults. Thank you. I yield back my time.
Thank you, caller. Our next caller is Gigi's phone. Gigi, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Permits are not favors. They come with rules, timelines, and conditions that are supposed to apply to everyone. When those rules are ignored and permits are still issued, the process stops being fair. Scientology repeatedly violates permit conditions and continues to receive approvals. They also ignore the required timeframes for submitting permit requests, yet are allowed to apply just days before events. Other entities would not be given that flexibility. Public Works cannot enforce standards for some and waive them for others. That is not equal treatment, and it undermines the entire permitting process. Stop issuing permits to entities that repeatedly break the rules. Thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you, caller. Our next caller is Georgina. Georgina, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment. Georgina, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Do you realize who that was that called in just a few minutes ago? Tori Christman just called in. She's the lady that got the street named L. Ron Hubbard Way. She's the one that pushed that through for Scientology. She was an active Scientologist for 30 years. But she's been out 25 years, and she's been fighting for 25 years, trying to get Scientology to end its abuses. She was part of that task force that got that name changed. Actually, solely her that got that name changed to L. Ron Hubbard Way. Why do we have a street named after a church leader? We don't have a Muhammad Boulevard. We don't have a Jesus Christ Avenue. Why do we have an L. Ron Hubbard Way? It's violation of separation of church and state. Thank you. I yield back my time.
Thank you, caller. Our next hand raised is Henri. Henri, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Go tell the Bureau of Street Services to hurry up and fulfill my CPRA on who from their agency directly was involved with taking down the special events permit information that has been publicly available for decades up until it was a political favor, done to a church nonetheless, to suppress First Amendment rights. I'll get that information one way or another. I'd like to do it administratively, but at some point litigation will happen, and I'd just like to make sure I have it in front to let the judge know that I tried to get administrative relief and that the city in all of its glory still refused and still behaved in a contemptuous way. So go tell BSS to hurry up and fulfill my CPRA to who took down the special events permit, publicly information, events calendar, and the permit details. I mean, this game we have, right? It's all cutesy on these events, but at some point in front of a judge, it's not cute. And the city shouldn't have to burn taxpayer money to litigate a very simple issue, which is hold people accountable
Thank
when
you,
they
caller. That's
violate the law.
time. Our next hand raised is Laura Anderson. Laura Anderson, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, so again with everybody, again with every word that everybody has called in regarding Scientology's abusive tactics with the permits in the city, and not only that, but also you guys accepting the money. You guys are the ones not doing anything about it because you guys are accepting the money. That is why, whether it comes through this winter wonderland, whether it comes through the last minute $350 permits you guys give them because they don't show the public that they're getting permits until it's too late for us to interrupt it. Yet you guys allow it. You guys keep giving them the permits. Yesterday I went by Blue. There were people, young EPFers, working on the non-permit that they don't have already. Today there's supposed to be some toys for kids that is not permitted, so that shouldn't happen. I will be waiting outside Blue Building making sure that does not happen today. There were people, EPFers, young EPFers, indentured slaves, $47 a week, working on the sidewalks yesterday.
Okay, Vice President Chavez, that's the end of our general public comment.
Thank you. And with that, we'll close the general public comment portion of today's meeting and move on to multiple agenda item public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item comment for up to 1 minute per item, up to a total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item, and please identify the items that you will speak on when you are called. We will start first with in-person comment. See. Oh, actually, we don't have any in person, do we?
On the same card.
Oh, Mr. Hydro.
Fuck Scientology. Matter of fact, fuck CD6 on item number 1. Let's go back. Illegals are not welcome. Comply with the ordinance. We don't need a replenishment project in the name of Donald C. Tillman. We want Donald J. Trump water reclamation plant. Fuck you, City of Los Angeles. And look at here on number 3. LAX 45 million parking structure for electric vehicle charger network. Fuck your infrastructure and fuck your Olympics too. Where's the people mover? Look at item number 3, hauling service, solid waste. All the fucking shit I've been telling this world for the longest time that Los Angeles sucks a dick like this one in my hand. But if it were true that recycling's improving our environment, why are we going to start it with hydrogen? We don't have hydrogen in fucking the eastern part of the world. Why are we going to start it now in California and destroy it? We did bad with batteries. Exide destroyed Boyle Heights in CD14, and now we got another assholes in industry bringing this fucking hydrogen shit into California with that dumb new scum jackass moron idiot asshole dumbass. So on item number 4, also we have a problem. Public safety. Shut down that fucking permit process for those fucking Scientologies. Fuck Robert Herbert. I agree with every person who called in. Keep calling in, keep complaining, get those threats out of our way, and let's move forward, regain our street. That street belongs to me. I'm the goddamn president of Los Angeles now. Incorporating myself as the new LLC. I want my fucking street, remove all those fucking bricks, put back all those fucking meters, and charge all these white niggers too, because that's a street that belongs to the public, not Scientology. I'm here on the warranty. I'm here on the 6-year service contract for the instrument of manufacturing what I believe Ron Hubbard sucks a dick like the one in my hand that you can't see me right now, Zoom people, because they got me blocked. They don't want you to see what a true white nigger looks like. 42 USC 1983 politely put the fucking Zoom back on. I want the people to see what kind of fucking asshole I truly am because of Jennifer Chavez, whose children don't like me because I'm a black motherfucker with a real attitude, a Mexican with attitude, and I kick ass. I will defeat America one way or another. I will bring the Chinese to destroy this fucking country if I get the fucking opportunity and chance for getting and regaining my
That's time.
infrastructure.
Mr. Torkey, we can go now to the virtual platform.
Okay, our first caller is Audit LA. Audit LA, you'll have up to 3 minutes. Please identify which items you are speaking on.
Yes, I'm going to start with the minutes. You know, we've been saying that nothing is ever reflected in the minutes. And I know with, you know, you're not required legally to do it, but it's good form. And the other commissioners do it. So it looks bad that, in my opinion, that you don't. Because for 2 years, you've had people coming and telling you about the abuses of Scientology when it comes to public works issues. We do keep it on point. And as Henry said, you know, we've been here asking for administrative relief. We're trying to do it administratively because that's what we want, right? We want the city and Public Works to self-correct. We want BSS to self-correct. And that's what's not being reflected. And now when it comes to the neighborhood councils, okay, they are not getting notified. I've checked. They don't get notified of these permits that are coming, that are applied for. And they have a legal, it's written in the rules. They are required to be notified. And you're leaving out the system with that, because they kind of get, you know, pushed aside too. But the neighborhood councils are the one, okay, it's their neighborhoods. So East Hollywood Neighborhood Council may be interested in knowing, I mean, what is going on. And also the neighborhood council with the shrine, okay, that they may be interested in knowing that you guys allowed an entire street to be shut down, sidewalks to be shut down, people who are slave labor, you know, checking students' IDs to see whether or not they actually lived on that block, and they decided whether or not they allowed them to go or not go on a public city sidewalk. This is America. We don't have to show ID to walk down a street or a sidewalk. But that's what happened because BSS and LAPD and CD9 completely ignored the rules of page 2, okay? And what, you know, a city attorney already made it very clear to Scientology that page 2 is the pedestrians have to be allowed in, okay, allowed to walk through. And so, you know, the neighborhood councils they need to know this. They need to know the abuses of what's going on in their area. Yes, we're going to tell them about the abuses, but you're not notifying them in a timely manner that these permits are being issued. Like, they don't know how, like, I'm sure they would be one to speak up on the fact that you shut down an area because for protesters, 2 people came to just document, and and all the city served. How many officers were paid overtime to prevent Laura FM and so, you know, and somebody else, you know, just to document? It's at the point where it's beyond ludicrous. It needs to stop. Now, number 8 with the street updates. It's going to be the same street update.
Thank you, caller. That's time.
Thank you.
Our next caller is Nora. Nora, you'll have up to 3 minutes. Please identify which items you are speaking on.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Wonderful. I'd like to speak on the minutes, as
You'll
Audit
have
just
1
did.
minute.
So what I want to say is this, twofold. Number one, I worked is a loose term. I was an indentured slave to the quote unquote Church of Scientology for 8 years total, 5 of which was spent at the Celebrity Center location, and 3 where I was held against my will as their lowest form of human. Basically, it is their concentration camp that they run from Los Angeles. They have multiple locations for that. During my concentration camp years, we worked 15 hours a day, and we did all of the maintenance around the property there illegally. okay? Because we were not paid a living wage. We were paid $12.50 a week. $12.50 a week. I want you to think right now, and I can see you guys, like I'm on the Zoom, so I can see whether you're paying attention or if you're just leaning back in your chair there, sir, just casually taking in all of the atrocities that Scientology commits on your watch. I'd appreciate
you,
if you really
caller.
paid
That's
attention and
time
not take a
for
nap
the minutes.
while I'm talking. So,
Thank you, caller. That's time for the one item. Our next hand raised is Sandra. Sandra, you'll have up to 3 minutes, 1 minute per item. Please identify which items you are speaking on.
I'd like to speak on the minutes and also item number 8.
Okay, you'll have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm just going to ditto everything that Henry and Audit have said in regards to the minutes. It's nice to be able to say, hey, for 2-3 years now, people have been complaining. Actually, for many years, we've gone back and we've CPRA'd complaints from the public that live around L. Ron Hubbard Way in regards to loud noises and permits. So it'd be nice to have them documented. Now on to item number 8. This outlines major upcoming street improvements by BSS. I sure hope this covers the areas of Fountain between LRH and Catalina, because the damage caused to the sidewalks by Scientology running their sprinklers 24/7 when there was some people going around there protesting, and the £1,000 illegally placed planters that were wrapped around all their buildings down that street destroyed and warped and lifted the pavements, violating ADA compliance as the street is no longer wheelchair accessible to 100%. And then they had Scientology slaves not wearing any PPE, using grinders with hoses and electrical wiring all exposed across the streets, endangering the public with zero safety measures in place, no inspections done. Any work like this should not be done illegally by a cult's slave labor, and no persons other than those contracted and insured by the city should be working on Los Angeles streets and roads. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
Thank you, caller. Our next hand raised is Tori Chrisman. Tori Chrisman, you'll have up to 3 minutes, 1 minute per item. Please identify which items you're speaking on.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead. Please let us know which
Okay,
items
thank you
you'd like
very
to
much.
speak
Good
on.
morning to each of you. Anyway, I want to speak on permits and the minutes.
Okay, you'll have
So
2 minutes.
uh,
Go ahead.
I just want to tell you that I was in Scientology in 1999 when they ordered. They said to me, "Don't worry about it. We're going to close off the street," telling them that we're making a film, right? And we have a permit for it. That's what they said. I escaped out in 2000, like I told you, and we started protesting. And they would always have a permit saying we can't protest on their side of the street down by the shrine. And sure enough, if someone would get quote unquote detained every time, go downtown, call me at night and say, I won. The permit was totally false. And I would say, we didn't win because they're going to take it to the people that have money and say, you need to donate more money so we can handle this. And that's what this is all about, is money. And I want you guys to understand, you've got to get on this. What these people are saying is incredible. And it's abusive and it's not right. And I want this in the minutes, and the minutes should be made public. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Our next hand raised is Yvonne. Yvonne, you'll have up to 3 minutes, 1 minute per item. Please let us know which items you're speaking on.
Thank you. The non-permitted or non-approved activities coming up this weekend and on the New Year's Eve have not been presented to the neighborhood councils. This is, again, a problem that is administrative and needs to be fixed. You can fix it. You have the responsibility to fix it. The Department of Transportation has not had adequate notice to post the required closure notices if any closure takes place. That's an administrative matter. You can fix it. The neighborhood council needs to be informed when their streets are going to be opened and closed. You can fix it. The minutes. These things need to be identified in the minutes so that they can be easily searched and recalled and drawn up to accumulate reasonable evidence historically. You can fix it. I forgot the number, the spectrometer. You're buying a very scientific piece of equipment that I've had the pleasure of using in the past, in one of my past lives, and you're looking for a very detailed scientific information. Congratulations, great job. But you're not taking the evidence that is out in front of your faces for the last 2 years and dealing with it. Why? How can you neglect what is being brought to you? Number 8, the streets report. Please don't push this again. Let's get through it this time, and let's have a real report that says whether or not, as requested, they could put slurry over the top of the bricks and stop having the maintenance problem that justifies in any way whatsoever that the L. Ron Hubbard Way is maintained by the special permit issued by the city. Stop that special permit. Take responsibility for your own road, and that's an administrative matter. I want to go back up to the minutes, and you have a special meeting which does not allow public comment, does not go into great detail, and I am assuming that on the nuisance abatement list, we're the callers that you consider a nuisance. Are you abating us? Thank you. That concludes my tirade,
Thank you,
and
caller.
I wish
That's
you
time.
well.
Thank you. Our next hand raised is Georgina. Georgina, you'll have up to 3 minutes, 1 minute per item. Please let us know which item you're speaking on.
Thank you. I want to start quickly with the neighborhood councils. We rely on our neighborhood councils to navigate these permits and to have oversight, but you're not giving them the you're tying their hands, and you're not giving them the information in time for them to have any oversight. These permits are constantly being issued and violated, and yet you still give them permits. That's a huge failure on your part. For the minutes, I think the minutes need to reflect some of the items, all the items that the people are calling in about. That way, we can show that, we've called in continuously to air these grievances with the permit violations. They have slave labor working on these streets. Tori Chrisman, Nora Ames, so many people have called in to say, hey, I was that person. I was that slave labor. I was that person that only made $12 a week putting in that street, getting that street named L. Ron Hubbard Way. And that needs to be reflected in the minutes. We need to show that Chavez and all the other legally backgrounded people on the board allowed the continuation of a cult to have a public street named after them, and that's a violation of separation of church and state. For the street improvements, it's very generous of us to say that those wooden crates filled with aggregate were planters. They were never planters. They never had arable soil in them. They only had aggregate and substrate in them. They were used as a barrier. They damaged the sidewalks. The sidewalks need to be repaired. Last time I saw a lady go through on a wheelchair, she had to go around into the dirt and got stuck in the mud. They've been violating these permits for well over a year, for many years. I yield back my time. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Our next hand raised is Laura Anderson. Laura, you'll have 1 minute for the minutes that you identified you'd like to speak on.
Hi, thank you. So yeah, I'm again with everybody here calling in. You guys have to, this is becoming a lawsuit. All of our little collections here, we've worked with you guys for over 2 years now. We've literally, you guys know who I am just by my voice. You know who I am in person. You know who Audit is. You know all these people now. These are all people that were like you in a cult. So what would you be doing about this? Wouldn't you say, hey, you know what? We keep getting Scientology's grotesque permits. Why don't we put that on the minutes? Why don't we say, you know what? 40 people this last week have called in that were ex-members of this cult of Scientology that are talking about how corrupt the permits are and how Scientology uses that to infiltrate and to get human bodies back into the cult, to get people like you and your daughters and your family into the cult. This is why we want it on the minutes, because y'all can lean with your head on your hand and not find this like this sounds repetitive,
Thank you,
but
caller.
this is
That's
where
time.
we are taking action. You guys are not taking.
All right, Vice President Chavez, that's the end of all our hands raised, and anyone who still has their hand raised has allotted their given time.
Okay, with that, we will close the multiple item of public comment portion of today's meeting, and we'll move forward with the approval of the minutes for December 10th. Is there a second to my motion to approve the minutes?
So move.
You did both.
Okay, we'll take roll call.
Mr. Torkey, we have a first by myself and a second by Pro Tem Grant.
Great, we'll take roll call, starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
All ayes, the minutes are approved.
Okay, and before we move on to our agenda items, we have a special retirement presentation today for the esteemed Deborah Weintraub. Who would like to speak first? I'll call our interim city engineer up, Alfred Mata. Welcome.
Excuse me. Good morning, thank you. As one might expect, I'm here with very mixed emotions today, as we're here to congratulate Deborah on her great career and wish her all the best in her well-deserved retirement. You know, from my earliest days in working with the city, I've always felt very fortunate to work with good, quality people and for the valuable mentors I've had throughout my career. And Deborah is a perfect example of that description. The Bureau, this department, you know, the entire city of Los Angeles has benefited from Deborah arriving to work here 25 years ago. She showed up with a wealth of experience. She has an undergraduate degree from Princeton. She has a master's degree in architecture from Berkeley. She has experience working at various architectural firms in New York City, including her own practice. And she's also worked at the Canadian Consulate here in Los Angeles and as an architect with Southern California Edison before coming here to the city. She started with the city as a principal architect overseeing her architectural division before promoting to deputy city engineer. And soon after, she has been serving as a chief deputy city engineer for the past 17 years. During that time, Deborah has guided hundreds of projects influenced by her passion for thoughtful and sustainable design. Among the many projects she has worked on, she has also led the LA River Revitalization Master Planning and was the principal author of the city's first green building policy. After she retires, she can travel all around the city and see many of the projects she has overseen, including the river projects, neighborhood city halls, community centers, libraries, fire stations, bridges, zoo exhibits, numerous parks, gymnasiums, pools, rec centers, and even retaining walls. She definitely has her fingerprints across the entire city. And of course, one of the qualities of being a great leader is being a great mentor. She's not only thoughtful about the design of the projects, but she's thoughtful about the people she works with. She takes the time to listen and provide thoughtful feedback, whether it's regarding a project, an issue on a project, a work policy, or a person facing a career choice. Many of us at the Bureau, myself included, are grateful for the mentorship Deborah has provided to us over the years. I've also had the pleasure of working with Deborah on the executive team for many years now. During this time, I had a close-up view to appreciate all that she does for the Bureau and the city. She sets a great example for all of us that work at the Bureau of Engineering. She has worked hard to make the Bureau the best it can be, and we will all benefit from that for years to come. So Deborah, it is hard to see you go. You've been a great friend and colleague. I will miss working with you. I will miss our lunchtime conversations. And although I will miss all those times with you, I'm very happy for you and David and your children, Nika and Aaron, and his wife Sonia, and your newest addition, your grandson Otis, as you enjoy your retirement with all of them. I want to thank you for all that you've done for not only this Department of Public Works and for the entire city. I'm forever grateful for what you have done for the Bureau of Engineering. I wish you all the best in your retirement. Congratulations.
Good morning, Commissioner, City Attorney, and others in the room. I will definitely miss coming to this building. I was sitting here thinking that I arrived really shortly after the restoration was completed, and it is a phenomenal space. 25 years has flown by with the City of LA, and I have a brief presentation of some of the projects I've had some role in, some small role in some, larger role in others, but I have a passion for this city and for the public spaces and the public facilities that I've been able to work on. I've also had great collaborators in the Bureau of Engineering, just a phenomenal set of people. People have asked me recently, do I have any concerns about the Bureau's work? And I have no concerns because I work with great colleagues like Alfred. But the Bureau gave me a chance as an architect and an urbanist at the highest levels of management in the Bureau to really have a broad impact, and that's been phenomenal. There had never been an architect in management in the Bureau of Engineering. There had never been a woman. So I was able to kind of bring both of those perspectives. And I've loved working with the policymakers in this city who are committed to the city, all the community members, just the countless community meetings that all these projects represent. Thanks again for that opportunity. I will really miss coming here. So this slideshow is just some of the projects. I'm not going to call them out by name, but you see the range of work that the Bureau does that I've been able to be involved with. It's really remarkable. And it ranges from the smallest, like a restroom, a public restroom, to the largest, like the 6th Street Viaduct, the construction photo you see there. Pools, we've done a host of pools. There are many more to do. It's a great public amenity for the city. Lots of park spaces, lots of open spaces. Recently, the last 4 or 5 years, a large number of facilities for those who are experiencing homelessness, which we're able to bring a kind of design perspective to make them mini communities. That's been very rewarding. And then bridges, a host of bridges, which are really landmarks of public right-of-way in the city. Some master plans, historic restorations. This is the historic Vision Theater, which the project is largely complete, but won't open for another year due to some other technical things they're bringing to it. And I inserted an old photo that I found of a woman sitting in front of the historic building and thought, well, that could have been me that many years ago when it first opened. And then projects that are still under construction. I visited in the top left. It will be our first fully net zero gymnasium in the city with a lot of technical innovations, and it's opening in about a year, a fantastic space. And with that, I just really want to thank the city for the opportunity that I've had here. My husband, David Chilowich, is here with me today. Neither of my kids could be here with me, but as Alfred said, I've just became a grandmother, and my little guy, Otis, lives on the East Coast, so now I'll have an opportunity to visit him some more. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah, and congratulations. And before I have my colleagues speak, I know that there are potentially some staff at BOE additionally that would like to speak. Mr. Mark Hanna, would you like to come up?
Thank you, Board. I'm here to honor Deborah Weintraub on this bittersweet moment. I've been working with her, beside her, for several decades. And her tireless efforts and her award-winning career on behalf of the city of Los Angeles. Deborah, your ability to make things happen in the face of impossibility by asking simple questions like, how can we get this done, has moved mountains. And I think the monumental legacy priorities that you've pushed forward that are still to get accomplished, I really look forward to seeing those move forward. Sepulveda, Taylor Yard, the park projects, it's really amazing. I'm certain your next phase will be more successful than your last, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, anyone else from the staff? Seeing none, I'm going to turn it over to, oh, we have one more. Yes, please come up.
I haven't
Introduce yourself.
card yet, but I will. Good morning, Boyd. Good morning, Commissioner. Good morning, City Attorney. Good morning, Deva. I'm going to be missing her. By the way, my name is Curtis Trent. I'm sorry. I'm going to be your engineering as well. I work with Deva on some occasion, because we're in a little different discipline, but it doesn't matter. She always a mentor, no matter what type of project. I'm more in the transportation and utility. And a lot of time, I don't have the vision like the architect, and we're so lucky. I can tell you an example when we were building a maintenance facility for Metro, and I was part of that. And then the 6th Street Bridge was going on, and she go, wait a minute, guy, you can't put this building here. You're blocking everybody's view. What's going on here? This is a vision that she see we don't. And we're going to miss that vision, right, Deva, if you remember that. And it's not for us now. It's going to impact in the future, any generation, whenever they sitting in that apartment or that building, a lot of residential, that maintenance building not blocking the 6th Street Bridge. So, her vision, her leadership, mentor, I'm going to miss that, Deva. And gosh, I wish I get to work more with you on more projects, but that's an example. But congratulations and good luck, Deva. Oh my gosh. All right, thank you, boy, for my time.
Thank you. All right, well, I'll turn it over to my colleagues. You want to start, Commissioner Cardenas?
Sure. Hello, Deborah. I had the pleasure of working with you when I was here on the board the last time. And I was looking forward to working with you again. And then when I saw you a few weeks back, or a few months back, you told me the unfortunate news that you were retiring. Well, unfortunate for me, because I was looking forward to working with you again. But it's all of the work that you've done, the conversations that we had. It was always a pleasure to work with you, your insights, and most of all, just your openness to talk to people and listen to what they're saying. Because I think that's one of the most important things when you're doing this type of work is listening. So thank you for listening, and congratulations, and just the best of luck in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Pro Tem Grant?
I have a special respect and affection for you, Deborah. You're the only one that I know of within the city that's read Jane Jacobs' Death and Life of the American City, as well as having a conversation about public space. We sort of keep going and just sort of forget the importance of that in city life. And I've appreciated your perspective so much. Frank Lloyd Wright said that an architect is one who can see 10 years, at least 10 years in advance. And as Curtis mentioned, you do that. You have a vision, and it's a vision that's lasted more than 10 years. And for that, I think your dedication, your skill, your work, your design, your build, everything, we thank you and appreciate your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Commissioner Mitchell.
Deborah, congratulations. In a short time we've been on board, almost a year, it's always been very pleasant to interact with you and everyone around you, actually. I've worked in straight engineering organizations without an architect. It is special in the city of Los Angeles to have the benefit of your prior training. I also think that architects are born, not made. And so just in some of the projects that you've shown this morning actually shows a little special something. about the type of impact that you've had on the city of Los Angeles. As a public servant, I always say the great thing about being a public servant, civil servant, is the fact that you can go and see the work that you've done. It's not so much in a situation where I made my client lots more money. That's not something that's measurable. What's measurable is the contributions that you've left behind and that you can just drive by and say, I had something to do with that. And nothing can replace that type of experience. So 25 years is a very short time on the one hand, and probably when you were going through it, it seemed like it was a long time. But needless to say, I know that the city of Los Angeles is much, much better than it could have been without your vision and support and work for the Bureau of Engineering. So enjoy your time off. Spend lots of time with your husband, who I met before the hearing, and know that we appreciate and the city appreciates and all Angelinos appreciate your impact and contributions to this city. So take care.
Thank you.
Deborah, when I think about your career, one word comes to mind first. You were the first woman to be chief deputy city engineer, the first architect to hold that position, author of the city's first green building policy, a sustainability pioneer before LEED was even a thing. But here's what I find the most remarkable is that you didn't wear those distinctions like badges. You just kept doing the work. And what work it's been. Really remarkable to see all the photos of all the projects that you've worked on since you came to the Bureau 25 years ago. And this is after you had already had such an established career, your own firm on the East Coast, and you've literally brought a global perspective to a city that deserves to have one. We are a global city, Los Angeles. So I think that you saw cities differently than many of us, the rest of us here in Los Angeles, and I think we are and have been better for it. All of these projects, I mean, just historic, monumental projects that put us on the map, like the 6th Street Viaduct, the LA River Revitalization Master Plan, Hollyhock House, Silver Lake Reservoir. I mean, I can go on and on. Most recently, the Convention Center expansion project. But every single building, right, from police buildings to pools to the rec centers, the bridges, the pedestrian bridges. You touched all of it and made all of it better by insisting that public infrastructure should inspire, not just function. So you've been, and it's really great to see, and I've heard this throughout the years, that you've been such a generous mentor to the architects and engineers that are coming up behind you, and that is so critically important. So thank you for that, and on behalf of the Board of Public Works and the people of Los Angeles, we appreciate you and we thank you, and we can't wait to see what you do next. Congratulations.
Thank you, commissioners. I leave here with a heavy heart, but I look forward to the next steps. Thank you so much.
All right. And with that, we'll recess for 5 minutes and take some photos. Thank you.
Are we in recess? 9 o'clock, lady. How long's recess?
I see.
I can't get no satisfaction. I heard that for you, bro.
Okay, we are back in session. Ms. Zatorsky, can you take roll and reestablish quorum, please?
Yes, of course. It's 10:57 a.m. Oh, let me record us back. One sec. It is 10:57 a.m. We are back and establishing quorum. Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell, and Commissioner Cardenas are all present, and we have quorum. We can go ahead and proceed with the rest of the agenda.
Thank you. Next order of business is consent items number 1, 2, and 3. Without objection, I'd like to move those forward. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Pro Tem Grant, second by Commissioner Cardenas.
Great. We will take the roll call, starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
Wonderful. All ayes. The items are adopted and carry forthwith.
Next, we have an item from Bureau of Sanitation, number 4, request for authorization, purchase an inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometer system.
Good morning, Madam Vice President, Commissioners, Bureau representatives, Legal Counsel, and Executive Officer. My name is Tom Juma. I'm with the LA Sanitation. I'm here seeking approval for the purchase of an inductively coupled plasma optical emission spectrometer. This is an instrument that is used for measuring trace metals. The cost of this instrument is $130,000, and the $130,000 includes a $83,000 discount. The tests that we use this instrument for are required for several city permits. These include the NPDES permit, the MS4 permit, the water recycling permits, and the waste discharge permits. Over the course of the 7 years that this instrument will be used, it will be used for, we use this instrument to measure an excess of 2,000 samples a year. And over the 7 years, we would be saving $560,000. We further request that we sole source this purchase to Thermo Fisher Scientific. We have other instruments from Thermo Fisher. We are used to their software. And we also know how to fix some of the instrument, some parts of the instrument ourselves. Now, we also have software for transferring data to our information management system. And if we have a separate or a new software, we'd have to map this instrument, which would cost time and money. I'll take any questions if there are any.
Thank you. Colleagues, any questions on this item? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a first by Commissioner Cardenas and second by Pro Tem Grant.
Great. We will take the roll call, starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell.
Aye.
And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
Great. Item is approved and carries forthwith.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have item number 5, which is a memorandum of understanding, City of Los Angeles and Regents of the University of California, Los Angeles.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Yasi Lozano, environmental engineer with LA Sanitation Environment Solid Resources Citywide Recycling Division. I'm here to recommend to the Board of Public Works to approve of the Memorandum of Understanding between LA SAN and UCLA for use of UCLA's on-campus hazardous waste collection facility to hold household hazardous waste collection services for Los Angeles City and County residents. The Residential Special Materials Program handles special waste generated in LA City and LA County households that cannot be placed in the trash, recycling, or compost bin. The city's safe centers are facilities that can support the collection of household hazardous waste and electronic waste, which include things like paint, cleaning products, automotive fluids, medications, syringes, batteries, light bulbs, landscaping products, and much more. The Safe Center at UCLA will be open to the public between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays and the first Sunday of every month. The contract term is for 6 years with a total ceiling of $2.6 million, and this facility plays a crucial role in providing services to the constituents in the West LA area. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Colleagues, any questions? My question, not about this one, but what is the current status of all of our safe centers? I know there were a couple downs that were not opened, reopened.
Yes, that's correct. We have 2 facilities currently closed, which includes the Safe Center at UCLA and our LA Glendale Safe Center. We do have 5 in operation. They're located in Northridge, Playa del Rey, San Pedro area, Boyle Heights area, and East Valley area.
Okay, and do we have a date of reopening for the others? Or?
Well, as soon as we can approve this
This
MOU,
one, yes.
we can open
And-
as soon as possible. Unfortunately, the LA Glendale facility, we do not have a date set yet. However, we are planning mobile collection events in the area in a location very close by at the Friendship Auditorium. And so far, we've hosted twice a year to provide service to the area in the meantime.
Okay. Thank you. Do we have a motion, colleagues?
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion by Pro Tem Grant and a second by Commissioner Cardenas.
Great, we'll take the roll call starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
All ayes, the motion is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Moving on to item number 6, task order solicitation, TOS S-058, Carollo Engineers, Inc.
Let's see. Good morning. I'm on here, okay?
Good morning. Yes.
Good morning, Commissioners, Vice President Chavez. Christina Jones, LA Sanitation Environment, Environmental Engineer. I'm here for item 6, which is a task order solicitation number 58 for Carollo Engineers. This will be a task order solicitation to continue our program management services that we already enjoy from Carollo. So this is a new TOS that we have advertised and now have awarded to Carollo. Over the last 6 months, we went through this process of selection and notification, and we are requesting the board to approve a total budget of $7,949,635 to fund the services, program, and project management, as well as project delivery, permitting protocols, and regulatory compliance, and outreach and stakeholder engagement. And then also to improve the term of engagement, beginning with the notice to proceed date with a 6-month optional extension. I wanted to mention this last part because I do have a technical correction. This date does need to be revised to show December 31st of 2027 to reflect the fully advertised 2-year term for this opportunity. And this TOS will be very beneficial to the Pure Water Los Angeles program and also Hyperion because it will support the advisory panel work that is currently ongoing at Hyperion. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Questions, colleagues? Can you just clarify the funding? This is per the funding agreement with Department of Water and Power. Is this being partially funded by that?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the last part?
Was this going to be funded by, partially funded by Department of Water and Power?
We are in ongoing MOA discussions to discuss planning and technical development of the program, and they will be part of the cost sharing for that element. Program management might be part of that or it might not because DWP will also have their own program management advisor. So it might be beneficial for us to keep these costs separate. It's to be determined though.
To be determined. Okay. Well, you'll keep us posted on that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I will move approval of this item. Is there a second?
Second?
We have a first by myself and a second by Commissioner Cardenas.
Okay, we'll take roll to approve this item as amended by staff with the change date of December 31st, 2027. We will start with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
Great. All ayes. The item is adopted as amended and carries forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to our reports. First one is a report from Bureau of Sanitation for the carbon credit program.
Good morning, Vice President Chavez, Board Commissioners, City Attorney. My name is Alan Tran. I'm with the LA San Hyperion Treatment Plant Division. And with me today is Mr. Omar Abu Say. He's the prime contractor from Geo-Environment Technology for the tire project. We are here today to present to you the carbon credit proposal generation, which is delivered from the tire project at Terminal Island facility. This proposal will offer the city great benefits such as the greenhouse gas reduction and the cost saving in the biosolid program. And now I will turn it to Omar to give you more detail about the project.
Thanks, Alan. Good morning, and thank you all for the time today. The purpose of the briefing and the accompanying staff report is really just to inform the board and the public of the project status and the way in which we have found to utilize an innovative method of marketing carbon credits for a reduction in the total cost of the biosolids management program. It's nice when a contractor gets to come and deliver good news about a cost reduction. I'll step through this quite quickly because it's a pretty extensive board report that's been filed, staff report, excuse me, that's been filed. But overall, what we anticipate is a reduction in cost from the project of about 25% of the total biosolids management program as compared to its current trajectory over the course of the next 3 years. That's primarily going to be delivered through an innovative way of monetizing the carbon removal features that are inherent in the use of bioslurry injection. Bioslurry injection, as we've discussed in the past, is a process where we sequester deep in the earth organic materials that are rich in carbon and prevent their decomposition and the return of that carbon or methane to the atmosphere. The tire project was originally conceived in 2001. I think I'll move us to slide. Oh, I have a clicker. Perfect. So I'll step through. Let me step back just a moment. We anticipate reducing the cost by 25%, primarily by taking incremental waste above the historical business as usual case at a $0 tipping fee. The process both enhances the environmental performance, but also the resiliency of the biosolids management program by providing an in-city, in-jurisdiction option that's resilient to both weather disruptions, logistics disruptions, and also gives the community that's generating this material control over its ultimate disposition. For those who aren't totally familiar, the tire project is a deep well injection project that was first conceived of and installed in 2001 through 2008 that leverages technology that was innovated in the oil and gas industry for managing really challenging wastes in very, very sensitive environments for that industry. It was brought over, identified as a fit for biosolids management at a time when the city was looking for alternative technologies to help reduce its reliance on distant land application. The process is managed and monitored by the EPA, fully permitted by the EPA. and has operated for just about 20 years now successfully, has been recognized as a model by the EPA for other communities to follow. Currently, the city sends about 17% of its biosolids to the deep well at the Terminal Island water reclamation plant for sequestration. The vast majority goes to land application, mostly in Kern County, which has had in the past community challenges with continuing to accept land applied biosolids. Further utilization of the Terminal Island option both supports diversion from land application and also fully supports diversion from landfills as well. Lastly, I want to call out on this slide, really as we and as science has a greater understanding of the contaminants that are inherent in biosolids, whether those are PFAS, whether those are hormones, pharmaceutical compounds, heavy metals, even biosolids that are, as the city of LA's are, legally allowed to be land applied, they can carry those materials which will accumulate over time and find their way potentially, can find their way into groundwater and into the food cycle. So the tire option gives is a model for managing those biosolids in a way that keeps those items out of the ecosphere permanently. In fact, the EPA in the 1990s identified this technology as the only method that would permanently remove contaminants from human contact. I won't spend too much time because I know you are all familiar with the project. The one thing I would call out about the use of a deep injection well here is both that it permanently isolates the injected materials from contact with groundwater or even the deepest sources of underground drinking water. That is the mandate of the EPA in permitting an operation like this, is to ensure groundwater protection. And so the wells that have been installed over the last 20 years have proven that point and have permanently protected groundwater and underground sources of drinking water. The other thing I would say is in some areas of the country, deep injection wells have raised concerns around seismicity. Obviously, we're very thoughtful of that here in Southern California. What we know is true is that the formations that we are blessed with here in the LA Basin are resilient against that sort of injection-induced or oil field production-induced seismic activity. We both know that from the geomechanics of the formations and their long history of being studied, but we also know that because over 20 years we have had deep and rigorous monitoring of all of the seismic events that that occur across Southern California and can show there's zero correlation with any of the injection operations that have happened in the deep well. That is part of the permit, part of what we report on a monthly and quarterly basis to the EPA. It is part of maintaining those permits. So we can say that we are both protecting groundwater permanently and also avoiding any sort of induced seismicity. I will say Terminal Island, the tire project, is the largest carbon removal project no one's ever heard of. We're really proud of that, proud of the positive environmental impact it's had for the region and as a model for the nation. We've talked about in the past about how we're generating these carbon credits. It's because the carbon that is in biosolids originated in the atmosphere, was trapped by vegetation, was used in the economy, entered into the food chain, entered into the sewer systems. Some of that carbon was reused for natural or methane production at the site, and that was used productively as an energy resource. But the remaining carbon that remains in those materials that originate in the atmosphere gets sequestered through the injection operation rather than being allowed to release and go back to the atmosphere. And so in that, we are conducting a carbon removal activity, which we've found a way to monetize through our partnership with Vaulted Deep and with the through the voluntary carbon market. I want to point out for the public that no government dollars, no federal dollars, no taxpayer dollars are involved in purchasing these carbon credits. These are credits that are being purchased voluntarily by large companies, particularly hyperscalers who are trying to reduce the environmental impact of their activities. And so we're using their desire to be carbon neutral as a way to subsidize for the ratepayers the biosolids management program. In addition to the cost reduction, there's a number of other benefits. I won't dwell on them. I've referenced them: the elimination of PFAS from land application and the elimination of hundreds of thousands of road miles hauling biosolids across Southern California and into Arizona. We estimate the project will save about 25% of the cost of the total biosolids management program over the course of the next, building up over the course of the next 3 years. The volume will roughly quadruple that goes into the tire well, starting first with a small increment, continued proving that it operates fine and safely, and then another increment, and then another increment over the next 3 years. And I'll leave it there and be available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues, any questions?
I have one.
Commissioner Cardenas?
Do we know what the capacity is for, I mean, is this 40 years, 50 years, 60 years? What's the capacity on our volume that we can pump into the ground?
Yeah, great question. So let me just give a brief. There are 4 wells currently installed, one of which is in injection service and 3 are in monitoring service. We can take 2 of those other 3 wells and put them into injection service over time and switch the duty of the retired wells into monitoring service. Also, the EPA permit allows us to replace those 4 wellbores with 4 additional wellbores as we exhaust the capacity. We've been operating at about 20% of the city's biosolids for 17, 18 years, and we're still in our first wellbore. So when and we're still in only our second zone of injection. When we integrate over the entire wellbore lithology across all of the wells in the permit, there's more than a century of volume available for us to continue this operation, even ramping up to the volumes we're talking about. So we will not exhaust the subsurface capacity there at Terminal Island before we, for example, will have to replace all the wellbores because we will have plugged and abandoned the wells by then.
Thank you.
I have a couple questions, just kind of big picture. Are there any concerns from a regulatory standpoint about this type of technology, the deep injection? Are there any concerns or anything we should be aware of?
I would say that when properly permitted and monitored in the right sort of a formation like we have in Southern California, deep well injection is actually the favored technology of regulators. I'll tell, there's a draft guidance around PFAS management. So PFAS are forever chemicals is how they're commonly known, Teflon type compounds that have entered into the water stream and the food stream and into our bloodstreams. Through nonstick cookware or stain-resistant clothing, et cetera. When the EPA has issued their guidance on the proper ways to manage PFAS, they cited to really 3 technologies, one of which was the use of a deep well. So I'd say that the regulators, in fact, in 2018, the EPA wrote a comfort letter to other municipalities that wanted to copy what the city of LA has done successfully at that point for nearly 15 years. And they said it has been a safe technology that has demonstrated satisfying the needs of the people of LA through its ability to take large volumes. So I think there are, I caveated my answer initially with when properly permitted, when properly monitored. And I think so in our instance, we have all of those conditions precedent. And I think as this technology moves across the country, it is EPA that is enforcing that is EPA permits that are required to do this operation. So we have a high degree of confidence that that is a scalable technology across the country.
Thank you for that. And then I'm just kind of thinking, okay, if we're committing to a certain amount of whatever the metric is that we're agreeing to, the
wet tons.
Wet tons, yes. How does that impact our flexibility to pursue other methods, other technologies, as we're looking to change how we pursue other emerging technologies with
Great question.
biosolids?
So there's a number of ways I think about it. First of all, there's the diversity in the program is going to be maintained even with the higher volumes coming to us, so coming to the site. So there are going to be a significant amount of additional volume that is going to be available both for experimentation or for new technologies to be adopted. Second, the contract under which Tyre is being operated right now opens back up in about 5 years. So there's also, as new technologies emerge, there's always an opportunity to recalibrate what the city wants to do with their volumes. The third thing I would point out is most technologies that manage biosolids end up with some kind of a residual product that has to be managed. So I'll give you an example. If we were to do and adopt advanced anaerobic digestion, and it took more solids, there's still digested sludge that comes on the back end of that process. In fact, Tyre is taking 100% of the digested sludge from the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant today by pipe, and then residuals coming out of Hyperion. So, I think of it as the option of last resort for volumes that are the residuals from any other process that could be adopted. The other thing I would point out is as the city moves towards using the effluent brine from the effluent water from the water treatment plant and recycling it for greater and greater purpose, the key way that happens today is you take 100 parts of water that isn't potable, and you concentrate out a clean water stream for reuse, and you've concentrated the contaminants in the reject stream. Deep wells that is the classic use of a deep well. So I think there's going to be a long-term basis for volume coming into Tyre. There's going to be a surplus volume of biosolids available for other technologies and contractual opportunities to realign the volumes as necessary.
Great, thank you. Well, I think it's a really innovative project, and I love your statement of how this has been happening and no one knows about it. It's just a sign of a great project.
Thank you.
So we appreciate the partnership and the innovation in terms of reducing costs. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other questions?
Nope, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, going on to our
Thank you so much.
next report. Oh, did you have anything to add, or you okay? All right. Moving on to our next staff report. We have a status update on major street improvement projects.
Good morning, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell, Commissioner Cardenas, City Attorney, Executive Officer, Bureau Representatives. It is a pleasure to be here once again. My name is Sherrod Nichols. I am the General Superintendent overseeing the Street Renewal Division, responsible for resurfacing, reconstruction, slurry seal. This information is being provided to lessen the delays and provide information to the community so that there is less impact as far as any roadway and detour information. For any additional information or concerns, you can contact our coordinating section at 213-847-3200. You can also contact me, Sherrod Nichols, at 213-847-3200. Currently, there are no major street resurfacing projects in the Metro or Valley region, but I will provide some information for the week of December 21st through December 27th. We have 8 large asphalt repair projects for a total of 0.90 lane miles. We've contacted the stakeholders to let them know of all the locations that we're doing throughout the city. And also we've contacted Los Angeles Department of Transportation for any traffic control assistance and also for striping issues. I do have some locations that we did throughout the city. So we've completed at the week ending of this week, December 20th, we had roughly around 14 locations that were completed. We had 3 locations in CD2. We had 4 locations in CD13, 3 locations in CD7, 4 locations in CD9. The locations are as such: Burbank, Lancashire to Ferndale, Chandler, Lancashire to Cahuenga, also Tahunga to Camilla. We had Hoover, Burns to Normal, Manzanilla to Burns, Burns to Adrian. Now, of course, these large asphalt repairs are just repairs. We're not resurfacing the entire street. So we may be doing 100 feet, 200 feet, we're not doing the entire roadway. We did a location on Normandy, Romaine to Lemon Grove. We did San Fernando Mission, Columbia to Strainwood, Slauson, Avalon to Metler, Metler to Town, Paloma to Avalon, and we did Van Nuys, Ralston Avenue to Sutter Avenue. So I actually have a photo that we did on Van Nuys, Ralston to Sutter. The first photo shows the level. The reason why I did, the 2 photos is because you really couldn't see the gravity of the pavement distress in the second photo. So it shows the pavement distress, the pushing and shoving. And the second photo shows the lane that we're gonna do, or that we did to complete. So the last photo is the finished product of the large asphalt repair that we did on Van Nuys. So we actually had to reconstruct this location, and the overlay designs were provided by the General Services Division standards. And I just want to thank our team for the street renewal team for their hard work and dedication. And I also want to wish them a happy holidays, as well as the board. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues, any questions? All right, thank you so much. Have a happy holiday. And
Thank you. Happy
good
holidays.
rest of 2025.
Yes.
All right, moving on to number 9, we have Bureau of Sanitation report on specialized on-call maintenance services update.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Vice President Chavez, board members, Executive Director, City Attorney. My name is Trayton Dubois, and I'm an Environmental Engineering Associate with Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant. I'm here today to provide an oral report for the specialized as-needed maintenance contracts awarded to Murray and ACO. And to give a brief description of the contract, the specialized as-needed maintenance service contracts were awarded to Murray Plumbing and Heating Corporation and ACO Engineered Systems for the purpose of augmenting the Bureau's staff by providing maintenance support on an as-needed basis. The scope of work includes the contractors to perform a variety of maintenance services, including but not limited to refurbishment, renovation, modification, replacement of various conveyance, mechanical, electrical, and process control systems. These contracts were established in July of 2020 for a total ceiling of $63 million, which includes a 5-year term plus 2-year renewal options at the discretion of the city. The Board of Public Works approved the ratification of the first 2-year renewal option, which is set to expire in 2027. Now for the second quarter oral update. For the second quarter of fiscal year 25-26, 7 projects were initiated with Murray Company and 0 projects were initiated with ACO Engineered Systems. The total for the fiscal year to date is 15 projects initiated with Murray for a total of $3,339,968.10, and 0 projects have been initiated with ACO Engineered Systems in this fiscal year. The total amount invoiced to date for the entire contract since 2020 by ACO Engineered Systems is $1,636,502.19, with 27% total achieved participation in the Business Inclusion Program. The total amount invoiced by Murray Company is $22,359,688.85, with 67% total achieved participation in the Business Inclusion Program. This concludes the oral report for the Specialized As-Needed Maintenance Contracts, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Colleagues, any questions for Bureau of Sanitation? Okay, seeing none, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Happy holidays, everybody.
And with that, we'll conclude the items on the regular meeting, and we'll adjourn that meeting at 11:32. And I'll call the special meeting of December 19th to order. Ms. Satorsky, please call the roll and read